Katie Hunt here with your weekly intuitive reading for the week of August 12th, 2019. Holy friggin' shit. We have been through it. It has been a lot. Congratulations. Give yourselves a round of applause for all of the hard work, all of the pain that you have dealt with in the last couple weeks. It has been massive, truly massive. The clearing is not done yet. We went through last week this enormous portal, this enormous energy, which helped to bring all of the stuff up to the surface and squeeze it out of us so that we could step into our higher state of being, to a more enlightened space. But that doesn't mean that it always feels good. So give yourselves a round of applause for all of the crap that you have been through the last couple weeks. I applaud you. You're doing great. Keep on going. There's a lot of information that I have to share with you this week. I will do my best to make this fast, but it's all really good stuff. So please stick around and please let me know what you think in the comments below. So the first thing that we should probably just acknowledge is, yes, we did go through Lionsgate last week. The big, the big portal of it, the really big climax of it, we kind of moved through this space, which did have a lot of stuff right up at the surface. The nature of this clearing is right in your face. You cannot hide from it. It is just unlike anything really else that we've experienced. If you're not acknowledging something on an emotional, spiritual, mental level, it will manifest in the physical body. So how has it manifested for you, or what manifested last week for you physically? Were you fatigued? Were you dizzy? Did you have head pain? Did you have do you have a super sore neck like I do and I can't seem to work it out at all? Ouch. Did you feel sick to your stomach? How did this all play out for you? It's very important that you continue to let go. One thing that I was very called to share is that when we go through these really hard, kind of rocky times, when things are tough and we're suffering, we can believe that the universe is punishing us, or that we did something wrong, or that, oh God, we start to question all of the things that we've believed in the past. Oh my gosh, could I be wrong? Could the universe not have my back? But what is very important to remember in those times is it is good to question. It is good to discern what works for you. Maybe what used to work for you doesn't work for you. These are all very healthy things. But what is very important to remember is that your belief is what is going to keep you in a love state. Believing that the world is loving, believing that the universe has your back and that these things are in service to you will get you so much farther along this spiritual path than going into victimhood and feeling like you've done something wrong or that you're getting what you deserve. If you want to change your perspective to the eyes of a student and be humbled and grateful of the lessons that are brought to you, your experience, your understanding within yourself will improve and will grow to such a degree that you will be able to show up for others in such a beautiful way. It is very important this week that we come back to a place of love, and that is very hard to do. But sometimes when we're suffering the most, that's when we're able to really connect to other people into a place of love, because we identify our pain in their suffering. So make it a mission this week to come back to a place of love. The simplest way that you can do that is to really connect into your heart. Just touch your heart, breathe into it, feel the heart beating, and just think of all of the things that you're grateful for. You cannot be grateful and fearful at the same time. So bring in gratitude and then shoot that gratitude out to everybody else and to share that gratitude with everyone else. If you have to have a tough conversation, if somebody's really challenging you or making you angry, go into that place of love, connect into that space, and then move forward from there. Come at them from a place of love instead of a place of judgment, because truthfully, you don't know what they're actually going through, but also you cannot judge them because you yourself are an imperfect being. You are perfect in your own way, but you have a human brain. You have your own human experiences that create a perception of the world. And what I think has been a very big indication in how I've observed, or a very big lesson, I guess, for me, is observing the world these last couple of weeks, this last year, and realizing that there really is no higher perspective, that people believe that they are right, or that what they believe is correct, and that is 100% beautiful, and that is great. So move forward from that place of belief. But if we get too stuck in our beliefs and we define ourselves by those beliefs and we place ourselves in this little belief box, when we're challenged by those beliefs, it's sometimes good to question what we actually believe. Is this belief actually serving me? And it may not be serving you anymore. And really realizing that right and wrong, the things, the rules that we've created for ourselves, even all of these spiritual rules that we've created for ourselves, are all based in our own human experience. So move forward from a place of love. Allow yourself to act from that space and look at the things that it guides you to do. Is it the same things that you would have done before? Are they different? Are the things that you believe to be right and wrong being challenged? Are you starting to have compassion for people who do things a different way? Are you starting to wonder if maybe there are other perspectives out there? Maybe there's other ways that you can look at things. Get yourself out of your own way and be able to fully embrace the experience by questioning and by being open to the answers that you get. You still may find that what you believe is true to you because it feels right within your soul, but I would question why it is that you believe that, and what level is it serving you? Is it still serving you on some level from an ego perspective, or does it really help you to contribute to the love in the world in a greater way? So the next thing that we want to really be open to this week is some clarity. We have needed clarity. We all want clarity. We all want to know what's going on. I hope that you received a little bit of clarity with the Lionsgate last week, but think back to the beginning of this year and try to remember what obstacles were, whatever your brain told you was a challenge or was old pain perhaps, whatever it was that you were really trying to work through the beginning of this year, you will receive some clarity about it this week. So if you're not sure what it is that you were struggling with, maybe go back to my YouTube channel and watch the January readings, because that will help to rejig your memory of all of the stuff that we were kind of dealing with at the beginning of this year. I remember this year starting out in a really intense way. Things were really weird right from the beginning. So I'm really looking forward to some clarity this week that kind of can help put the pieces together on what we were experiencing. Sometimes when we heal, we need the story because our mental bodies need to kind of understand it a little bit to let it go. Other times we don't get a story. We just get that, oh, this is this problem and that we need to really address it, or we need to acknowledge it, and then it kind of goes away. So the beauty of this week is that there will be more lessons for you with all of that stuff that you experienced at the beginning of this year. So that's a nice little gift. So when we have those kind of tough experiences, we really, really, truly grow. And when we get that clarity and that reasoning behind it, may not even be reasoning. I won't put expectations out there for you, but any sort of clarity about why that thing may have occurred or why that came up at that particular moment, you may begin to start to realize it this week. If not, it just kind of comes in all in one wave as a kind of an epiphany. Just stay open and be really curious about the beautiful things that unfold this week, and try not to have expectations about it. So if something's starting to happen and you're like, oh, this must be the clarity, catch yourself in that moment and let it go, because then sometimes our ego gets involved, and then we try to make certain situations into what we need them to be, instead of letting them just unfold naturally and them just naturally becoming the lesson or the guidance or the clarity that we need in the right space. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yes. So the bird flying over you as a sign could be a sign of point A, but if we decide that it's about point B, then point A is just kind of out here really still needing the sign, and that is a lack of clarity. That's a really poor example. Let's just pretend that never happened just stay open and try not to let your ego play too many tricks on you this week and try to tell you what things mean. Stay open and stay open to the guidance that is going to find you this week regarding the things that began at the beginning of this week. That's not right. The beginning of this year. Okay. Another thing that you can be mindful of this week is where in your life there seems to be a little bit of unrest, perhaps a little bit of chaos, dare I say even conflict. How are you contributing to this chaos, this conflict, this unrest in your life? And how are you being that peacekeeper? Are you being that peacekeeper, or are you adding more fuel to the fire? Be honest with yourself, but maybe just be mindful this week of the role that you play in these types of situations. If you're usually the type to jump into a fight, maybe this week is a week for you to look at that. Why do you feel that you need to be a justice warrior? Why is it that you need to get involved in everything? Is that because you want to feel safe or in some sort of control? Whatever it is, just be mindful of it. Because when things are really chaotic, some of us like to be the superhero. Some of us like to throw fuel onto the fire to make the chaos even bigger. And sometimes we just run away from it. So just be mindful of the role that you like to play in conflict this week, because again, that is another lesson, that is another piece of information and clarity of insight for us this week. And going forward, even in our lives, if we want to be more mindful of how we step into the world, are we that person who brings in more peace? It's again what we discussed at the beginning of this video is love. How can you bring in more love into your life? You don't add in more love by getting involved in fights and by throwing people into the flames and by spewing flames at other people. You come to a place of love. You spread love into the world by coming to a place in your heart, by acting through compassion, and by trying to understand that people are acting out of their wounds. They're not necessarily trying to hurt you. So as chaos starts to bubble up around you, or conflict, or whatever it is, however it manifests, try to step into that space of the witness. And before you engage in the chaos or conflict, really connect into the heart, because I promise you, if you do that, you will approach it much differently than if you're just going in guns blazing. The chaos, of course, this is a general reading. This can manifest in any way. But however big or small this week, try not to lose your head about it. Try to not go too much into fear about it. Come back into that place of gratitude. I cannot stress that enough, especially this week. We have been pushed through the ringer, it feels like. We have a lot of victim energy right up at the surface. We have a lot of what we call suffering happening within our bodies, around us. And it's so easy to go into a place of anger and of hatred or of sadness or whatever it is. But this week, in order for us to get pulled up to that higher state of being, through all of this stuff that really has been a challenge for us, we need to declare love, and we really need to move forward from that place of love now more than ever. So really encourage yourself this week to stand up in that way and ask yourself, is it easier for me to be complacent? Is it easier for me to join in on the chaos? Sometimes it feels good. Is it easier in my life to ignore my physical body and my mental and spiritual and emotional happiness and health? Probably. But is that you? Is that something that you actually want to partake in? Is that really going to fill your cup at the end of the day, that you've had this super easy life filled with things just piling on top of each other? Or are you going to really serve yourself and serve the planet by showing up in a greater way? Yes, it's more work to be spiritually connected and to step into that place of love when all you see around you is hatred. But we have enough of that hatred in the world. So you can contribute to the peace that you want to see on this planet by coming into it from a place of love. There is going to be a lot of desire this week to make really massive, big changes. You're going to have that momentum behind you. You're really going to want to make those changes. Again, make them from a place of love, not from a place of desiring chaos or drama or being so fed up with how you're feeling that you just want to make a really drastic change. Be mindful and move forward cautiously so that you don't make any huge decisions that you may start to regret once all of this stuff that's up at the surface starts to kind of simmer down and really start to clear out. Also acknowledging where it is that you're trapping yourself in your own mind. Where is it that you allow fear to trap you, and really consciously working on letting that go. you want to really work on letting that fear go, I would do a visualization. So close your eyes down. You can do it now, but maybe later. Close your eyes down and imagine like a personification or an object of some kind that represents the fear that's really trapping you in your own head. What does it look like? Give it a shape, give it a color, all of that. Really try to look at it and send it love, like just a heart beam into it, Care Bear style if you want. And imagine it's like a night, I'm seeing like a night sky, so like a beach at nighttime. You put it into this beautiful little boat and you just let it go. And you just let it sail away from you and just watch it float away. And then eventually it gets swallowed up by the light. So visualizations, that was one example that they gave me before this reading. I think that one is really powerful because you can really sit with it and feel it leaving you as you're watching it in your mind's eye. Visualizations are a really great one for letting go of fear. Also imagining standing up in your own mind and saying like, that's enough. Fear, you are no longer a part of this conversation. You can actually go sit over there because this is fine and you are not helping. Love, please stand up and help me through this time because I'm in charge now. The fear is not going to drive the bus anymore. We are letting that go. And so finally, where is it in your life that you want to make a change because it's something heart-based? Or where is it that you are just walking away because things are seeming a little bit too difficult? Sometimes we've made a really big mess of things and it's really easy to walk away. But you are being called to decide, is it time for you to walk away, or is it time for you to maybe start to fix it, start to repair some of the damage that has been done? And when I say damage, I mean like not in like a tornado crazy type of way, but like where has it been that maybe you've spread your your unhappy energy onto other people? Where has it that you've manipulated people a little bit to get what you want? And it's not about, making ourselves feel guilty or bad, but it's about being honest with ourselves and acknowledging where it is that we did not show up as our highest self, and then sending love back to that situation and to those people that we've hurt, instead of carrying that guilt of those actions that we've taken against other people forward with us. Leave behind all of your hatred that you have for yourself, all of the guilt, all of the shame, all of the bullshit that you tell yourself. Time to leave it behind and walk away from it. Where is it in your life that you need to walk away? And being, again, cautious of not walking away from something because we're sick of it or it's too hard or we don't want to do it anymore. But walking away from those things that are really limiting you and holding you back. There may be some beliefs in there that really do serve you. And even if they're not feeling really great, they're serving you on some level because they are getting to you to this place of belief, of higher belief within yourself. But where is it that those beliefs really do not serve you, and where is it that you can let them go? This week, open your heart, shift your energy, spend lots of time in meditation, allow this stuff to leave by resting and for creating a beautiful canvas in your physical body for this new energy to find you and to move you and to guide you towards a higher state of being. We are on this planet bringing in a tremendous amount of light. There is an intense amount of opportunity here. We have the power, if we all decide to stand up and come from a place of love, to shift this planet in such a big way, to maybe start to make some really big waves that will eventually trickle out and really make big impacts. This is the week that you are the change that you want to see in the world. So how are you going to step up? And don't step up from a place of ego, and don't make yourself feel bad that you haven't stepped up in a bigger way, because you are perfectly in the exact same spot that you need to be. That is a trap. There is nowhere else that you should be. There is nowhere else that is better for you to experience, or nowhere else that you should be sitting in right now. You are exactly where you need to be in this journey. You don't need to be higher frequency than you already are. You don't need to be a better person. You are the best version of yourself at this particular moment. You are growing naturally. That is how we do it, but you're not falling behind. And it's very important for you to remember that you are showing up, that you are looking at your stuff, even if it doesn't feel like it, it is there. There's no way that you can ignore it, but you're letting it go and you're choosing to step up in a way that brings love into this planet. So I applaud you. And I would request that you keep on going, as hard as it can be sometimes, and as like ridiculous as some of this stuff can seem. We will have a little bit of rest in the near future, I hope. But right now, just try to have some amusement about what's going on. Try to make the most of it and just allow this experience to unfold exactly how it's supposed to. Because no matter where you think you're supposed to be, you will end up exactly where you are supposed to be. And you will get there from a place of love and trust in the universe. Worrying, distrusting the universe, not having faith in yourself is not going to get you there any faster. That is an experience that you are having now, which is again perfect, but it's also something that you can look at and grow from. So I hope this week is filled with so much love and many, many blessings for you. I hope that you are able to step into a place of greater love and wisdom. And I am sending you so much love right now for your journey. We are all in this together, my friends, and thank you for being here with me each and every week. I so do appreciate it.